Welcome to the Spirits, Angels, and Guides Oh My podcast,
where the supernatural gets real, baby.
Hey, Spirit Gang. Welcome back to Spirits, Angels, and Guides. Oh my. If it's your first time, thanks for joining us. I am Nancy, and I am here with the lovely and talented Tara Diana. And today we are weaving together some of our most powerful seasonal practices. So it sounds impressive that way.
Impressive.
So we're guide you through some year-end conversations with your guides. We're going to blend in some winter listening practices, and we're going to do some stuff around dream messages. And we're also going to talk about which guides step forward to help us in sort of the dark half of the year as the light isn't out as much. Not that it's a dark part of the year, it's just the sun isn't out as long as it should be. So this is an episode all about gentle closure, soft healing, and new beginnings. So it's exactly the kind of spiritual rhythm that we're inviting you to join us along with.
You know what's interesting about dream messages that increase this time of the year? My sister, who is very intuitive, the lovely Miss Paula, very intuitive, but doesn't practice it like we do. She just comes along and like supports us. She's been sending me messages every day about I am having weird dreams. I'm having another dream. Like I had another dream. Like what is going? And it's this time of the year right now.
Yeah, very much so. Because winter is not an ending. Like a lot of people think because everything goes dormant, it's actually when we shift inward in the winter.
Yeah.
And so, people go, oh, it's just a dead season. But energetically, it's where the season is facing all this transformation that's happening within us,
Right.
inside our body, inside of our intuition. So it doesn't surprise me that your sister is like leveling up and ramping up with everything that she's downloading. Nature, animals, our nervous system, everything draws us inward at this time of year just to integrate it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. And so when everything kind of gets quiet, I find our intuition gets louder. So it's about the dark days where our sensitivity is allowed to sort of brighten and really hone in and tap in. And when life is slowing down, that's when I find our guides become a little bit louder. Or maybe it's just because we're paying attention more because everything's a bit slower. But, winter is definitely, as far as I'm concerned, Spirit's invitation to give us pause, to have us soften a little bit, and to just be open to receiving. It's like one big exhale before the new cycle starts.
Yeah, and winter for me is always about, we talk about Yule, we talk about the solstice, and we talk about hibernation. And I always say it's the we reconnect, we realign, how to say rehabilitate, maybe we rehabilitate, we reconnect, we do all the re's in this season. So I want to talk about a winter listening practice.
Okay.
So this is something that I find to be very helpful when you are trying to um, tune into that inner antenna. It's deceptively simple, babies. It is so easy, but it's very powerful, and I love that. So I want you guys to think of it as, tuning into your inner antenna, right? In these quieter months, and the thing is that December is not necessarily super quiet, babies. December is a havoc month in my world. It's chaos galore. And so we're talking a little bit more into the January, February kind of vibe. Those are the quieter months. That's the month where the guidance doesn't arrive in like big, you know, and like fireworks, revelations, all those things. It comes in through way more subtly. And how does that come through? Well, it's going to be different for everyone, guys. So it can be a shift in how your body feels. It can be a whisper, in your awareness. It can be a thought that floats in. I get lots of those, and actually, that's really more of a problem, a Tara thing and a spirit thing. A sensation in the chest or gut, right? Oh, sorry. Okay, a memory that suddenly surfaces. It can be a sense of being nudged or pushed or pay attention to me. So the practice that we're going to do asks you to stop trying to hear and simply let the messages arrive. Now, this is a reminder. I get a lot of people, Nan, that come to me to connect to their loved one, and they they have this really intense need to either feel them in one of those, like I said, firework, big revelation kind of way, like a slap across the face or, like a punch to the gut. They're so desperate. But
Yeah.
then they end up trying to force it to happen. Same with clairvoyance. I want to see them one more time. I want them to come and be at the end of the bed, and they're forcing it. It will never happen. I will I will climb on the hill and die there for the it won't happen because you're trying too hard. And spirit works with the natural rhythms of our frequencies in our bodies, right? So if you are like really trying to rip open your third eye and all these things, your guys are going to want to protect you, right? They're going to be like, hell no, lady, what are you doing? Calm the F down. And they're going to, and your body itself is going to be like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but we're not doing it. So let's try this. And this might elevate you into the next state of being. So let's sit quietly. You can do this in under 60 seconds, baby. So sit quietly and let your breath settle. That is so hard for me.
Yeah, I think it's hard for a lot of us just to just settle and just breathe.
Definitely for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do that space and came back out. Okay. So here's the beautiful thing about me is that I can keep going. So once you got your breath settling and you're comfortable, do this in a place that's quiet, baby, comfortable for you, and let the breath go in and out. And then just say out loud. You can say it silently, but out loud. What is rising in me today? What is rising in me today? And then, babies, listen without expectation.
I love that.
Okay? Remember what I talked about? Forcing. We don't force. Listen without expectation because in winter, in this energy, your guides speak in the small opening. Your jaw, literally, if we are in hibernation, if we are in reflection, oh, another re word. If we are in all the re words, your only job, baby, is to notice. Period. Hard stop. So that is roughly 60 seconds now. 60 seconds.
I love it. And it's so easy. Yeah, it's something everyone can do. Just come back to your breath. Do you know how many times in a day, if I'm getting stressed out, I consciously go, I've stopped breathing. Like I hold my breath, right? So you just come back into that.
Oh,
And then just, I love it. I love it.
okay. I do a lot of my business talking while I'm walking the dogs. Nan's gonna know this. She's gonna laugh when I say this. And I I can be walking a straight line, easy walker. I'm like this when I'm talking. And I'm like, why do I always sound like I'm running a marathon? And it turns out that I am a natural shallow breather.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I found that out when I had a surgery a little while ago. They're like, "Ooh, you are a very shallow breather." And I'm like, "Really?" But that makes a ton of sense. So, focus on your breath, babies. Do the breath work. Do the breath work. So, I wanna go into another one. Are you okay with that, Nan? This isn't a like, thank you. Okay? So, let's talk about winter dream work. We talked about it a second ago, and I said that my sister, the lovely Miss Paula, is having all these dreams, and then why? Why messages increase at night, right? And it occur in the winter, obviously. Thank you, Captain Obvious. It's darker at night. So winter naturally enhances dream communication. Okay, so people often think intense winter dreaming is stress, but it's actually energetic alignment. I want to stop there for a second. I just want to remind everyone December is not the month, babies, to think that unless that's your vibe all along, for most of us, it is hectic. It is parties and dinners and shopping and Christmas fairs and Christmas cards and all these things. It can be stress. You can have dreams that are based in your humanness and it can be stress. But in the quieter months of winter, again, January, February, a bit of March, it's an energetic alignment. So why dream messages become stronger now is because the nights are longer, baby. You spend more time in intuitive states. Okay? You with me? Pineal gland is more active with less daylight. Did you know that?
That's interesting to me, and that makes sense because it is something that is used so much in communication and intuition.
Yeah. Do you remember Teresa Caputo did I can't remember if she was on I think Oprah was already off the air when she became important. But she did that whole thing and they did a scan of her brain and while she was giving messages, her gland was like popping and everyone was like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's
Yeah. That was a long time ago, sweet goddess. But anyway, see if you guys can Google that. If you can Google it, put it into our Instagram so I can find it again because I won't do the work. So the pineal gland is more active with less sunlight because and emotional processing deepens when the world quiet. I mean, that is just if you think about that. Let me say that again louder for those in the back. Emotional processing deepens when the world quiet. That is like again, Captain Obvious. But we just don't think like that. We're not thinking like that. So your ancestors and guides start to draw closer. Your subconscious feels safer to speak. Dreams this time of the year often, will come through with purpose, like, and they will reveal um, what you're releasing before the year closes, and you'd be like, "What? What? Yes, yeah, yes, ma'am. I want to release that." What themes will you follow into the new year? I am not the new year, new you kind of person, but lots of people are. So who am I to judge? You may get more visitations from loved ones, right? The loved ones that have crossed over. Emotional healing. Like, damn, couldn't we all use that? I think I will be in emotional healing for the rest of my life, man. I think it's just, that's my thing. Messages about timing, direction, boundaries. Okay, so if you want to connect even more clearly, I wanted to say reconnect so bad, but it's connect. If you want to connect more clearly, babies, ask before you go to sleep. Show me what I need to understand as this year closes. This is you taking personal responsibility in your journey. So you're saying, okay, I'm ready. Show me what I need to understand as this year closes. Your guides hear you. Okay?
Mhm.
Period. And with dreams are one of their favorite ways to respond because it is simplistic and
Yeah.
because you are less likely to fight them in your humanness when they
Yeah.
do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can I talk about winter having its own sort of spirit allies for a bit?
No. Of course you can. No.
Oh boy. Okay. Guys, doing a podcast with her is difficult. I'm just gonna say sometimes she's just difficult.
But she loves me.
Okay. Okay, so I am going to talk about spirit allies, and they are sort of the beings that step forward most strongly during the dark half of the year when the sun's not out as much. And these are the guides that help with reflection, clarity, healing, and anchoring new beginnings for us. And so, you know where I'm going with this, people. I got to do me spirit animals. So
Are
it would
spirit
be fun.
allies or all spirit animals?
They really are. You know how it goes for Nancy. Everything I got to figure out how I can tie spirit animals and animals into this podcast all the time.
I think it's in
So,
hell though, so go ahead.
okay. So, some of the ones that step forward, and this is the coolest thing. So, Owl, who's the seer in my world, reveals truth, illuminates shadows, and sharpens intuition. Tara, do you know for the last week, I have had a barred owl in my pine tree in the front yard, and every night I hear it. It's calls out and it's sort of I don't know, it must be calling to its mate somewhere in the neighborhood, but it is so cool, and trust me, I'm listening when that owl is saying something.
That's cool.
Very cool. I love when it comes for a visit. Wolf is another one that comes forward in the winter very strongly, and wolf is a pathfinder. Wolves help guide us on direction, leadership, boundaries, and community. So I would encourage If it's anything you really need to work on around that, call on wolf medicine, call on wolf spirit to come in and help you with that. Another one that everyone associates with winter is bear because they go in as far as hibernation. But what a lot of people don't associate is that they restore things. And so they support deep rest, deep healing, self trust, emotional integration. That can restore a lot of that within yourself. Cool, right?
Okay, yeah. And at least you didn't have a wolf standing at your backyard.
I wish I did. I would have been like, I would have been texting you pictures.
Take a look at this shit.
No, I just have the bumblebee that I posted in our Facebook group, which is a whole message that was really cool. So, a couple others are deer, which is really cool. It's all about being healer of the heart. Deer is very much associated with love. It softens the field. It helps us with emotional tension and promoting grace and compassion. And then, of course, there's our ancestors. They come in, they make those long nights connections easier. They come close for comfort and for remembrance.
Yes,
And we just did a really cool thing in the Spirit Lounge where we did a recognition of our ancestors and did a little ritual. So,
you did with the candle.
yeah, which was really, really cool. So if you want more, you just got to come to our Spirit Lounge. So angels of transition. So a lot of the angels that are out there that probably lesser known ones that people don't necessarily work with, Azrael, Haniel, and guardian angels will work also actively with us to help complete the year and open up new beginnings. I do a lot of work with Michael. Who do you work with a lot?
I'm in Michael's realm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I like a man with a sword.
I feel like you and I share the same hmm, kind of energy, you know? But yeah, I did a cool thing about that years ago, um, years and years ago, and we were, what realm do you work in? Maybe we should do that.
We should, because that, I always when I do Akashic readings, I always tell them what realm they're working in, which is really cool.
Oh, let's do that.
Um,
We'll do that.
okay. And then the last, which is one of my favorites, as you know, is tree spirits. So a lot of the cedars, the pine, the fir, the oak trees are all really powerful stabilizers. And so they basically will come in this time of year. They're the keepers of wisdom during this winter cycle. So think of them as your bestie keeping the secrets. And talked with them, work with them. Tree energy is just amazing. So, in my world, Tara, winter doesn't just challenge you, it gathers a whole team of helpers around you to work with you.
You know what I love about winter is it starts off, winter doesn't really start until December 21st, right? So we are, you're still working in that space of, at the beginning of December, you're still working in fall energy, heading towards that. So, the 21st, I mean, everyone goes haywire and we are exhausted because it's just a few days before Christmas. And we are all like in that space of like getting ready. We are ready to hibernate. We are ready to sit back and be like, sweet goddess, no one talk to me for like the next 2 weeks. I want nothing. Just chocolate. Just chocolate. Always. Okay.
It's always chocolate for Tara.
Always. So it doesn't surprise me that we go into, the ancestors coming through, that the tree spirits, they're all like, "Hey," because it just becomes simpler for them to reach us. It just
Yeah.
becomes simpler. So let's talk a little bit, Nan, about like a year-end conversation with your guide. Because I don't know if everyone believes in guides. We can't be friends if you don't.
But
Everyone has guides. I'm just gonna put it out there. Everyone has guides. Hello Kitty has a guide. If you are disbelieving of that and still able to do the intuitive work and whatnot, all the power to you, baby. Again, no shade to anyone. Not everyone has seen it, but I know what I know. So for me, working with the guides is so helpful like, for lack of a better word, it's so enlightening and makes everything so much easier. When I bring through my message bearer, I'm standing up doing, a crowd of people and giving messages on platform. To have my message bearer like whisper a little word and be like, "You're in the wrong person, move over," is amazing, right? I don't have to do all the work. We are like a team. We're working together. So I want to talk about a ritual that brings all of this together, everything together. The listening, baby. The dream, baby. The winter being, right? And the soft introspection of this all. You don't need tools, okay? So you don't need a ceremony. You don't have to do all of that. Even though, again, many of us love that. It brings a peace to us, right?
Yeah, I love a good ceremony. Well, I love a good yeah.
I love a good wedding. Um, I'm with you. But what I'm saying is for those people that just maybe don't do the work like we do, they're not invested in that way, but they like the idea of connecting. You don't need tools. You don't need a ceremony. You don't need to run sky clad out in the snow on a full moon. You need a quiet moment. And that is really important. Your own space, right? Like I have a whole room where I do all my work, right? It's my sacred space. I have an altar in here. I have all over my house, but I have an altar in here. I have, all my important tools, right?
Yeah.
You need a journal. I also have many of those.
Yeah.
Many, many. And you need to be open. That that's
a big one.
such a big key here is that you can do all this work any time of the year, guys. But if you're not open to it, how many times, Nan? I do a lot of self-empowerment work with people, leveling them up to their humanist level so that they can then get the next level. And they will always say, "Oh, but I did this. But I did this." I'm going to give an example of something, Nan. You ready for this, baby? I did a reading for an individual, a gentleman. Love this guy with all my heart. Oh my goodness. And the reading was like 2026 is going to be really powerful because of this, this, and this. And he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Yeah, my 2025, I was told is going to be really amazing too." And he's like, "And it wasn't. It
Oh.
wasn't." And I said, "Okay, okay, I hear you. I can't change the message. So why do you think it wasn't?" And he went into this whole thing about how he didn't get this and this didn't happen, and I said, "But that's all you putting out the idea that they had to do it for you. It had to come to you." Manifestation is so, what's the word I'm looking for, Nan? Overused. Like, and used in the wrong ways, I guess maybe is what I'm trying to say. Personal responsibility and will choice are everything. So I said to this guy, I said, "Oh, baby, you know what? You're going to make 2026 good. We're going to work together. You're going to make 2026 good because you're going to do the work. Spirit does not drop things down a chimney like Santa Claus."
That's true.
Why don't? The common problem here is you. And I said that with love. I meant it with love. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. Then the message is right. If you want it, you want 2026 to be stellar, babies, then you would stellar.
It's also about perspective, I find, don't you?
Oh,
Like I feel yeah, like if your glass is always going to be half empty,
yeah,
then woe is you. But if the glass is half full and you're constantly working towards the next best thing, then hey, more power to you and you're attracting that.
exactly. Exactly. And remember, it's good come to me, good go through me. It's not I'm a shitty person, so I want shitty things to come back. Right? Like that's not what we're talking about here. No, it's not. We're talking about good things, etc., etc. So if you have those three things, you have that quiet moment where you can just sit down, have some chocolate, a journal, and open it. You need four things. You need a quiet moment, a journal, open it, and chocolate. And I tell you, you will be okay. You will be fine, baby. And then you're gonna ask three prompts. Okay. I always use the same prompts with my mentorships and whatnot. So, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. What did I learn this year that you want me to remember?
Oh, that's a good one.
What did I learn this year? You know what? We'll put these in Instagram. Hopefully someone will remind me. But like my guide, uh, your guide, your guide will highlight the real lessons, guys. The ones that were important, not the obvious ones. You already know those. Those hit you like, gave you a nosebleed kind of thing. The We're talking about the meaningful ones, the ones that we tend to gloss over sometimes because they might be a little more work, they might be a little harder on the emotions or, whatnot. Okay? So that's the first work. Number 2. 2. Okay. What am I ready to leave behind? This is a question, the talk of release and manifestation is so overdone now that I think that the real purpose of it has gotten lost in the work. If one more person tells me they are a master manifester, I will literally choke myself. Ooh, because really, are you? So what are you manifesting? And they'll take it from a place, Nan, of, oh, I manifested, a parking spot. I manifested, you know, um, an extra $20 being found because I was low on money. Those are all great things, but that doesn't make you a master manifester, right? The big things that will come from hard work always. So you have to be very honest with yourself. You have to be like, what am I ready to leave behind? That's the release portion of it because you got to make space. You got to make space so that you can bring what you need to you. So your guide babies are going to be honest. They will be gentle. Can I just say that? Gee, Spirit's not going to come in and be like, holy crap, Ola Nancy, you got to get rid of this and this and this. And what the hell's the matter with you? Get rid of this. They're going to be honest, but they're going to be gentle with you so that you can look at it and be like, okay, I can consider that. You're right. Why am I holding on to this? This year, this go. Right? And the third thing is, what am I stepping into? The word seer is big for me. SEER. We talked about, right? The word seer is a big deal for me because what are you stepping into? People do vision boards. That's not what you're stepping into. That's what you're hoping comes, right? That's a manifestation kind of thing. I'm sit out there, bring it to me better. But what am I stepping into? What direction? This isn't this isn't a revolution. This isn't a resolution. This is not a goal. Okay? What direction am I going to go? What feeling? Is there a new frequency? I want a new frequency. What's my next chapter? Okay. Those answers often come through, and that's why you got your journal, you got your chocolate, you got your quiet moment. They come through things like words, images, sensation, animals, symbolic messages. Yes, baby. Animals are huge. People do not put enough relevance into spirit animals. The indigenous communities, the Celtics, many, 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 many different communities, animals are honored like crazy.
Yeah.
And people miss that. And symbolic messages through the animals, right? A mouse might mean one thing to you and mean something different to me. And again, that's a topic for another time. But it can also be, sudden knowing, like that claircognizance. I love me some claircognizance, right? What you want to do, baby, is you want to let it be simple. Spiritual, intuitive work should always be simple. The more you put expectations on it, the more you add a ritual after ritual after ritual. Again, no shade to the rituals, but if you're struggling to be here and bringing more tools just makes it more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Simple, this is a great way to think of this. Simple is often true.
I love that. I love that. So, how do we integrate everything that we've been talking about into the new year? Well, when we combine winter listening, when we combine dream work, when we combine work with our spiritual allies and our seasonal allies, um, and just everything in this conversation that we've been having, you're going to find that you're not just closing the year, you're creating an energetic foundation for the next one. And isn't that what we all want to do?
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, new beginnings don't start at midnight January 1st. I'm the same as you. I don't believe in a whole new year, new me. Like we are perfectly us as we are. I feel that everything starts the moment you align your energy with what you're ready to receive.
Mm, mm-hmm. Love that. That hits
Me too.
home, baby. That lands.
Yeah. And the ritual clears the noise, it helps soften the field, it invites clarity, it prepares us on our paths, it helps strengthen our intuition, and it opens us up to that support. Remember, your guides won't come in and help you unless you ask them to. So if they're here, why not work with them? Right? They're here in all of this. Exactly. And all of this that we've been talking about tonight is just kind of a reminder that you're not stepping into the new year alone. You've got this entire team around you, and your guides are walking with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, on that note, if this episode spoke to you, babies, share it with someone who needs a gentler, more spiritual way to close out the year.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you for letting us be a part of your spiritual journey this season and for listening to us throughout the year. And here's to closing the year with clarity, Tara, and stepping into a new one supported, guided, and aligned.
Amen.
Amen,
Amen,
sister.
sister. Please go and follow us. Give us a like. Make sure that you subscribe. Follow us on all our channels. Nancy, Christine, Brady, Tara Diana. Well, no, that's not it. Spirit Essence by Tara Diana. And make sure that you go and check out our Spirit Lounge, babies. You don't want to miss out on the coolness.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the wonderfully weird and metaphysical.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to follow us for more insights and behind the scenes fun.